Welcome to Wednesday, January 19th, 2022, this Day Weather Podcast brought to you by Chug Water Chili, the gourmet spice of Western life. Check out Chug Water Chili dip and dressing mix. You know, you really want to think about this for the upcoming football playoffs and Super Bowl. It's a mix of Southwestern blend of spices, perfect for dipping crackers, vegetables, chips, and more, or use it as a dry seasoning to season pork, chicken, or vegetables. It's a perfect spice for those roast and crock pot meals as well. Get yours today with discount code ChugWaterDon for 20% off at chugwaterchili.com. Chugwater Chili, the spice of Western life. Well, we've got a little bit of an Arctic kiss going on right now, mainly for folks along and east of the Continental Divide. An Arctic air mass has moved in like waves on a beach. This is going to cause upslope conditions along and east of the Divide today. Many areas this morning have fog, freezing drizzle, a little light snow, and that's just kind of how it's going to go today through early tonight. No one's going to get any significant snow, but it could be really icy out there. Watch your sidewalks, your driveways, your exit ramps, your bridges. Going to be a little icy. Now, the Arctic air does retreat a little bit on Thursday, so temperatures will rebound, but we've got another front Thursday night and Friday. This next front is more of a Pacific origin than an Arctic one, so the air behind it won't be as cold, but it may bring a little more snow than this first front. It's going to be a cool, quiet weekend from basically Saturday through Monday. Temperatures will rebound to near seasonal averages or a little bit above. Not much going on. And then as we head on into the time frame of early next week, we have another Arctic push, another Arctic kiss coming Monday night and Tuesday. And that one may have a bit more impact on this region. We'll show you that here in a minute. Also want to show you something about La Nina that is interesting and an indication of what's coming later on. Today's forecast chart shows the dip in the jet stream coming on in. This is allowing the Arctic air to spill into the western United States with that northwest flow. So along and east of the divide here, that Arctic air is kind of getting pushed in. As we go through tonight and through the day today, the Arctic air will hold along the divide, keeping us very cold and soupy. And this is what the snowfall looks like for today. Again, not terribly impressive, but enough to make things a little bit slick out there, so keep that in mind if traveling. Now here comes the next wave. It's right here. It's a trough coming on into eastern Idaho by Friday morning, and it's basically going to just slide its way slowly south and east into the region. It is going to bring a pocket of some moisture from the Pacific right here and come on in. So the Arctic intrusion with this, not nearly as impressive, but it's a little more moist. And notice there's going to be a little bit of snow along and west of the divide this time. So Jackson, eastern Idaho, Salt Lake, back into northern Arizona, northwest New Mexico, and Colorado's western slope, you're going to get a little bit of snow shower activity. This is far from being a significant system, but there is going to be a little more snow with this one than the last system that's currently moving through right now. Then high pressure builds in for the weekend. But by next Monday night and Tuesday, we have another trough getting pushed in right here, another low moving into northeast Utah and Colorado. There is going to be a little bit of an Arctic push right here coming in at the same time the low comes on by. So what that'll do is we'll see another Arctic air mass spill in along and east of the divide, going all the way down into eastern New Mexico and west Texas. And there's going to be some Pacific moisture with this system. Look at the cold. These are temperatures relative to normal by Tuesday afternoon. So a pretty good push of Arctic air. You know, boy, I tell you, the upper plains into the Corn Belt, into the northern Great Lakes, really, really cold and will stay cold. And you can see it's kind of another Arctic kiss coming on in, and we'll see this cold continue to push all the way to the Gulf Coast by the middle of next week. There it is, right there. You can see this is by Tuesday afternoon, this is by Wednesday afternoon. So you're talking about some pretty darn cold temperatures relative to normals across a good part of the nation by the early to middle parts of next week with that next push. This is the 7-day temperature average, basically through next Thursday. If you add up the next week, anywhere there's blue, green, or purple, temperatures on average for the next 7 days will be colder than normal. And you can see, as we talked about earlier this week, when it's warmer than average up there, you're going to be colder than average down here. And that's the process that's going to be. So you can see a lot of the country overall is going to be pretty darn chilly over the next week. Now, this is what the second wave looks like coming in Monday night, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, and into Thursday of next week, what is of interest is right here. This is an area that is extremely dry. Boy, could they really use moisture here. And it does look like there will be some snow with this next system early to mid next week over eastern Colorado, southwest Nebraska, western Kansas, and down into the panhandles and northeastern areas of New Mexico and parts of southeast Colorado. Now, this is far from being a big storm, but in January, you don't usually get really wet weather systems on the high plains. Let's hope this transpires, because the winter wheat areas in this location here could really use a drink. And it's also going to be another system, as you can see, really favoring along and east of the Continental Divide. So we actually have three systems, one today, another one Thursday night, Friday, another one Monday night, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. And this is what the snowfall could be like with that third wave coming on in. So getting a bit more wintry out there. And if you were to look at the next 10 days, there's a lot of snow falling over a good part of the U.S. And here could be potentially another mid-Atlantic snowstorm developing in this pattern. So there's more bad weather headed towards the Midwest and the East Coast with this weather pattern here over the next 10 days. Now, going out to February 1st, we talked about this yesterday. High pressure looks like it's going to retrograde further out west into the Pacific, which means the western United States, notice the trough is building in the western United States by February 1, while high pressure returns to the southeastern United States. This particular jet stream configuration is somewhat similar to what happened Christmas week and New Year's week, where the western United States got cold and stormy. So it looks like the tendency at the end of January into early February is for the shift of the more active weather in this part of the nation here right now to go more west. So for you West Coast folks, it looks like right at the end of January into early February, it starts to get wet again. There's not much going on in the far west, but I think that'll change as we turn the month of January into the month of February. And I wanted to show you what's going on out in the Pacific. As folks know, I am a big believer that the Pacific is the main climate driver in the western United States, and so we got to pay attention to the Pacific. This is the most recent update of sea surface temperatures. This is as of this past Sunday. And you can really see the green, the purple, and the blue here, the colder than average sea surface temperatures out in the subtropical Pacific Ocean. What is of interest is I want to show you what's going on right here, because this is important. So this is the most recent update. Let's take a look at La Nina a year ago, exactly a year ago from Sunday or the 16th of January of last year. Notice the more westward extent, how far west across the Pacific La Nina was. This is in contrast to what's going on right here. What this means right here, folks, is with sea surface temperatures warming up here, this region of La Nina and El Nino, which we watch so carefully, is starting to lose its cold punch. And so when you look at the extent of across almost the entire Pacific of La Nina this time last year, it's getting eaten away, getting a chunk of it taken out. This is the process of La Nina continuing to weaken. It's still there, but this is another sign that La Nina is going to fade going into spring, summer of this year. We'll keep an eye on it for you. Have yourself a great Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow.